Hey everybody, Perry Belcher here, and welcome back. We're doing some preview calls right now, and I've got for the growth hacking event going on in San Diego, September 22nd, at the Manchester Hyatt Hotel, growthhacking.com. If you haven't got a ticket yet, please come and join us. We'd love that. I've got one of our guests, one of our keynote speakers, Nuno Tavares, is with me right now, and Nuno is the man when it comes to automations, a lot of stuff right now. Nuno's kind of a bit of an all-around amazing person when it comes to technology. He's been a key player in the success of the high level platform, the Go High Level platform, and works with a lot of the Go High Level publishers and the quote unquote SaaSpreneurs. He's the guy behind the scenes running all of those, a lot of those platforms, especially the most successful ones, one of ours and some others. And is just overall a brilliant guy, and always got his nose to the grindstone and ear out to the ground for the latest technology. And Nuno's here with us today. Hey, Nuno, what's going on, man?
And I'm super excited to be here. And yeah, I think both of us have a little bit of that passion of going after all the cool new AI things and all the things that are happening with automations. But it's an exciting time right now. It's
It is
probably
a
one of the
really
best
exciting
times
time.
I've had in a long time.
It is a really exciting time. Nuno and I do some business in another company, and together in the technology space for integration, AI integration, and technology support. And I've got to know him really, really well. I can't wait for you guys to meet him at Growth Hack. If you haven't met him yet, he is absolutely brilliant. So, Nuno, tell people about you a little bit, where you came from, how you got started in all this crazy mess, and tell them your background story a little bit, how you got into this business.
Well, yeah, I kind of, believe it or not, I kind of fell into it. So I was a big in the corporate space. I was 25 years in Fortune 100 companies. So Capital One, Bank of America, I was an executive for a while. I was literally basically led the entire commercial services team for all of Capital One for a good 7 years, and did really well in there. The first person to bring robotics process automation to Capital One when it first came out. Led a department of one that turned into a department of four, and was like the first ever kind of like how I fell into like coding and kind of like the robotics piece of it. And it was kind of crazy. I think you know my story a little bit, Barry, but like I never thought I was going to be an entrepreneur. Actually, from the beginning of time, my dad was a pretty failed entrepreneur. He had a great heart, didn't have the support he needed, but always had great ideas, but just never really made it work. And I vowed for the longest time that I was just never going to be the entrepreneur. Well, lo and behold, I guess you know the universe had different plans. My mom and got sick. My dad got sick. I had no other choice. And when you work in corporate, you cap at a certain time. Like you can't earn more than what you did. I maxed out all my bonuses every year. It didn't. There was just no extra money coming in, and I got really desperate. And I, you know, started looking for other opportunities of things to do. So what was crazy is like I knew two things. One, I knew how to manage a team and coach people, and two, I had a love and passion for solving problems, and definitely a love and passion for technology. It started with websites, then it grew into making things easier in the websites. And back in the day when you had to figure out a problem when a website broke, there was no YouTube, there was no anything. It was like deep dark forums at 2 o'clock in the
Right.
morning. And you had to go through like 98 questions to get to your one answer that would solve your problem. And you pray to God that somebody figured it out. And that's how you kind of like went about solving these like little weird coding or automation issues. And it was kind of weird. And the way that I kind of got brought up, I started doing websites. And then from websites, it led to, well, everybody needs email. And then from email, it led to, well, there's this new thing and it's called automations. And you can make the emails fire when somebody hits a button. And then it just kind of like took off after that. And then I kind of married both skills. The skills that I was using at the bank trying to solve big multi-million dollar, billion-dollar problems. And then it kind of like fell into place when solving like just people's interactions with what they were doing with their business. Like people were still handwriting emails, and like not like handwriting in the sense of typing emails and responses. They were never responding to clients and everything else. And I just started seeing this massive gap of like, why don't you just automate it? And then that became like my like kind of deeper passion. I just wanted to make it really easy. And then that turned into like a little side project that turned into a six-figure agency that I ran for years with no ability to advertise, no ability to do anything because I couldn't be loud because I had the corporate job that, was my 9 to 5. And then I was doing this like from 6 to 2 in the morning, waking up at 4 o'clock in the morning, working in closets, taking breaks and taking calls in the bathrooms. Like this is like kind of my life where I did that for like a good 8 to 9 years altogether, the last seven being the most successful. And before I left
That's what
corporate.
happened to all your hair, right?
Yeah, that's definitely what happened. I'm like, I feel the gray too. I'm like, I'm 48 and I feel like I've like transgressed time because the amount of like pressure that was all at the same time. But working a 9 to 5 corporate job, working those off hours, I was able to do, and only on referral basis, I was able to get like a pretty high end, like 6 figure agency in the mid 6 figures. And I just was able to do it. I did it for 7 years and it was mostly all through automations and through like very minimal staff. I think the most I've ever had was like 2 people at a time doing it. And it just worked. And at one point in time, I mean, I think it was just got overhand where I was making more money in the agency than I was in the actual corporate job. And my wife was like, "Can we stop one, please?" She's
Yeah,
like,
right.
"I don't even know where you are most of the time. Like, I see you in dark corners at night trying to figure this out." And that's literally what I developed. I mean, and now you fast forward to where we are now in automation. It's bananas what you can
And you've
do.
had a hell of a ride on. You had a pretty hell of a ride on the rise up of high level. I know.
Yeah,
As an automation platform that's so broadly used now, I think probably the most broadly used marketing automation CRM in the world, I would think.
believe it or not, it's surpassing HubSpot in the amount of workflows that are being run like
I,
monthly,
I would
which
absolutely
is
believe that. Yeah.
bananas, I mean, and it's insane. But what's funny about and what I think why we like it so much, Barry, is like high levels was made for scrappers. Like
Right.
when it first came out, it was really bad.
Yeah, I
It
know.
was like
Yeah.
you had to like
You
figure
had
all
to
these
keep the
things out.
faith, man. You had to keep the faith.
It was like, what are we doing here? And but what was great about it is you literally had such direct access to the creators that the second something broke, hey, I need this, they would do it. And then you would go to another one, I need this, and they would do it. And it just became this like really good audience where we just had direct line of sight to the owners, and the owners were so fast in changing things that it just made it want to stay. And then they just kept making it better and better and better. But the people that were around earlier on just kind of really understood how to navigate it. And because it's so powerful, it gives like power users like myself and a couple of other people on our team, like Russell, that we just know how to manage it because it's for scrappers and it's great that you can do all these other things and it allows us to automate more and do more with like a lot less, which is great. So that's kind of where that falls in. And yeah,
It's
it just kind of fell right
it's
into my hand.
fascinating to me. I was talking to Robin and Sean over there one day, and they were talking about how only 2.3% of companies in America actually have any CRM at all. So the opportunity in marketing automation from an agency standpoint is incredible, and from a competition standpoint is incredible because that 2.3% probably is 80% of the market in revenue because these other companies that haven't grasped automation, even at that level, which is really, I hate to say it, sort of primitive automation compared to where we are right now, right? Because we're in the AI space that we're in now, where we've adopted an AI first principle at our company. That's who we are. We are an AI first company. So we address every problem with, can we AI that? Before we hire people, we went from 85 U.S. stateside employees to 5, but employed at the same time 600 different AI tools and agents that handle workflows and tasks for us. So I know that you've done the same, but I know you're super heavy into the AI side of the business now as well, right? Not just high level, but other applications, and even I know we got a thing coming up at Growth Hacking where we're going to work with a lot of vibe coders, a lot of people who are building their own software applications. You want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, I do. And I'll talk to you about the one that's been really bridging. I would say that's making the most impact right now, which is NAN. NAN has been like kind of the bridge software that we've been
That's
using to grow.
N8N, right?
Yeah, NAN,
Letter
believe it or not,
N,
I actually,
the number 8, then the letter N. Yeah, yeah,
yeah. So what was funny is I actually went to the conference because there was all these speculations of how it was called, and we're like, no, it's NAN. Because I was like, is it nation? Is it Nate? No, NAN. They
yeah.
corrected me like 7 times. They're like, no, just call it NAN. So crazy thing about this is, so think of it this way, right? So high level gave us this broad, crazy powerhouse of an automation system that allows us to manage leads, our business, our everything that you can possibly imagine, email, text, and all that. The added components of voice AI and the added components of a chat AI, which makes it even more powerful. And the fact is that also focusing really heavy on AI makes them in my opinion, probably is going to surpass a lot of the CRMs that we were talking about before. Because I think that their focus is so heavy on it that they're really listening. Now, you take this powerhouse of a CRM and you're like, well, crap, I have some of these other software. Just can't do that. I can't do in high level, no matter what it is. But usually we would use like Zapier or Make, and those came along too with their own AI agents. But what NAN
It's really
does,
duct tape.
yeah, exactly, right?
Yeah.
But imagine now, okay, great. I connected to softwares, but I still have to direct it on what to do. Well, here comes NAN and it goes, well, it figures that out part for you because it has something called an AI agent, which is one of the most highly used functions. I actually talked to them. That AI agent, it's like a node. It's like, think of it like a part in their system that everything connects to. So a request comes in from anything, goes into this AI agent, and the AI just figures it out. It could be connected to 7 different softwares, your Gmail
And
account,
that's what we're
your
calling
Google Drive, your
what's commonly
other
called an
software
MCP,
stuff.
right?
Yeah, and not even an
Yeah.
MCP. You don't even need it. You can actually create a little mini server right within the system that does all this other stuff. And not to be super geeky on this, but just think of it like this. Imagine having an operations manager doing all this stuff for you.
Yeah, it's like having a project manager that runs itself, or it's running orchestrating the rest of the tools, right?
Yeah, the entire thing. And it's
Well,
not
that's
like 1 or 2 tools. It's managing like 8 different
right.
processes. So you're eliminating like 9 to 10 like employees in the sense, or just work that you would be doing manually. And this thing is figuring it out. You're like, hey, go create me an image and put it inside this folder and do me a favor. Also create a Slack message for the entire team and send it to the entire team. And you're rambling. And it will go in there and it will put
And
it all in
figure
nice.
out how to do all that.
Just figure it out.
Yeah.
So I mean, I am at the gym and here literally this is my day today. This is no exaggeration. And I can promise you, you go to Growth Hacking Live, this is what you're gonna see live. I literally from the gym was like, got an idea. I said, hey, I call her Donna. She's my personal AI assistant. She's got a nice voice.
Is that Donna from Suits?
Yeah,
100%.
I'm trying to get her voice. It's funny.
Everybody wants a Donna, right?
Yeah. So I reach out to Donna through Telegram and I say, hey Donna, a couple notes on the team. They have to get this done, this done, this done. And oh, by the way, I want to create a micro app that is going to add an event calendar to a web page. And Donna goes in, she sends a Slack team message to the team. I see it come through Slack. I'm lifting weights, I'm chilling out, I'm like drinking my like a little energy drink. And then all of a sudden I see the micro app come through in my email, the prompt that I'm going to be using for my micro app. It puts it on the project list and ClickUp, so I know I have to get it done. It then shoots me a note that it's all done, and that comes back, hey, I've done this, I've done this, I've done this. Are we anything else I can do for you today? And I'm like, are you kidding me? I did that in 5 minutes.
That should scare the living shit out of everybody that's having to do all this stuff manually. I mean, I when I first got into AI, I heard someone say when a single person in an apartment can direct 1,000 of the smartest people in the world to work for them, how are you going to compete? I mean, I don't see how people believe, growth hacking that's what growth hacking is about. How are you, it's an older term. We probably need a better, newer term for it, but I just happen to own growthhacking.com. So it was a good one. But I mean, honestly, how does anyone who doesn't grasp this technology expect to compete in the future? How can you compete with that as I'm just going to be Jimmy the market. I'm a good marketer, so I'll market my way around it, or I'm a good manager, so I'll manage my way around it, or I'll hire my way around it. And, I don't see how anybody can possibly think of any other way. And you look, my aunt, I'll tell you a funny story. My Aunt Ava was my favorite aunt. And she was the only person in my family had money. I came up with a poor ass family in Paducah, Kentucky. It's literally the sound a dead body makes when it hits the floors of Paducah. But my Aunt Eva had money. She'd owned a restaurant, and for 40 years, she saved her money and invested in utility stocks. And when she was older, all she liked to do was drink whiskey, play cards, and go to horse races. And when I was about 16 years old, she took me to my first horse race. And I think I learned one of my best business lessons ever. She took me to a horse race, snuck me in the track, tipped a guy to get me in. And she's tried to teach me how to bet on the horses. And she's reading through a racing forum with me. And she's like, okay, here's how the horses break. And here's the previous record. And here's this and that. And tell me all these things. And as she had another drink, she said, or you just follow the Chinaman to the $50 window. And that was that was her big tip. And since then, honest to God, it's just, what's the big money doing? What's the big money doing? And they're investing billions. I don't know if you saw NVIDIA's earnings a couple of days came out where their sales were only up for the quarter 56%. The other day, they got a $8 billion order. Can you imagine? You're just sitting around one day. Hey, boss, we got an order. It's 8 billion freaking dollars. I mean, that was from one company. That was Oracle buying chips from NVIDIA. Here's 8 billion, just for
Well, it's
an
funny.
order of chips.
I have context still to my banking side, and I can tell you the amount of investments that the banks are even doing in AI is ridiculous. Like, I mean, so the point of the matter is, you asked a really relevant question. How can people last? I don't think they will.
Yeah.
I think that the people that are embracing
It's
this
a matter of
technology, I
existence.
think the people that are using it in their business. And again, even if it's a slight, you're introducing yourself into your business, you're getting it to answer your phones for you, you're doing all these little tiny things. Like I said, in 5 minutes, I did something that would take me probably 3 weeks to get through or hours.
Right.
And I was able to do it. I had an idea in my head, it came to fruition in minutes. You know how long that, like, sometimes you put in your to-do list, oh, I'll get to it when I get to it. I literally,
Oh,
by the time I
yeah.
got back home, I copied and pasted it, and here I was creating a micro app. Now, you bring into the whole vibe coding space. Imagine that, how that's also enhancing it. So think of my process. I got an incredible, like, operational system. I run four businesses, and I do them all extremely well. They're all doing well. I have no gaps. My operational costs have completely plummeted. Like, my overhead is way less than it's ever been. I do more with 5 people across all four than I did with like 15. And it's ridiculous. And now my team is leveraging it, so they're getting even faster. So it's operations is all the high level. NAN is to cross, kind of going across all of it with a manager, an operations manager in between, doing the AI operations manager, figuring all that cap out and bringing it all together. Then I got my vibe coding space where I'm just creating the things that I don't have, that I want, that solve the problems that are the bigger problems. And just duplicating that over and over, getting more efficient every day, figuring out new nodes. And what's crazy about this, and this is what kills me, AI is getting faster, it's getting smarter. I don't even know if it's at the moment of this video, like, we just got Nano Banana. Nano Banana is like
I
big hit
saw
right
it.
now.
I saw it. Yeah.
I look, today I was Superman, I was the Little Mermaid.
Right.
I I had
And that's just a
thumbnails
toy that
created.
the
Like,
thing, the craziness is we're not seeing what's really being built back there yet. They got things I didn't realize. I was talking to that was talking about Canva and the rise of Canva, and Canva is just a meteor. I mean, it is just to the moon, right? In the last couple of weeks, Adobe stock's down 16%. I mean, Canva just said, "Hold my beer and watch this," right? And but they were talking about the fact that Canva, these bigger companies, they're getting models from OpenAI and Google and all these places before anybody. So they're getting models 3 months, 6 months out, and people are wondering how the hell are they doing that? And it's because you just don't have access to the model. And people are bitching about. I couldn't believe how many people bitch about $20 OpenAI account or $200 OpenAI account, and they've got. I know there are OpenAI accounts, ChatGPT accounts right now that are $20,000 a month in some cases, right? For that are models that they won't let us buy at any price. It's like Nvidia right now. It's not a matter of how many chips can Nvidia sell. It's like, how can I beg Nvidia to sell me chips? It's not. They're not worried about selling chips. They're actually turning down tons and tons of people. So, what are you going to talk about like, particularly, because I know you could go as broad as anybody'd ever want to go. What are you going to talk about at growth hacking? And I know you have something. I don't know if you want to talk about what you have planned, because it's pretty
oh, no,
sneaky.
no, no, no. So the surprise is going to be, here's what I can guarantee. So, one, first and foremost, this assistant I'm talking about, I'm going to walk everybody through it. I want everybody to walk away with an assistant. So you're going to be getting that from free, like from me, free, and only on that stage. This is something that I charge anywhere from like 1,000 to like $3,000 to build. You're going to literally get literally the exact blueprint and my Donna that I use on a daily basis to get me do all this.
Oh,
That's just
Donna.
a
So
little
we're all
ice.
going to get a Donna.
All of them are going to get it done. That's the first and foremost.
That's
It's already
insanity.
here. It's here. It's like, I have it. It's templated. Like, we're going to walk through exactly what it does, and then you're going to walk home with it. That's number one. Number two is the massively big surprise. I am the completely and utterly determined, and I mean completely and utterly determined, that we are going to break some kind of record on stage that day. We have a crazy thing that we're going to try to do with all of you. And this will be an asset that you will walk away with that will literally probably change your course of your business or give you an asset that you can use in your business that you're not going to have before. I can't spoil it
I
because
know
you
what
got
it
to
is.
be there
I
and be
want
able
to
to
say
see
so
it.
bad. I can't do it.
I
I
like
won't
I
take
know
it
you
away.
know what it is. I know.
But it's worth. I can tell you this. It's worth easily 50 times the cost of your ticket. I
Probably.
mean, for that one presentation, for the one presentation Nuno's doing, and we just had on, I just had on Austin Armstrong a few minutes ago talking about how, how he's automating the media space, and there he's got a billion plus views now, and he's automating that whole process. He's automating the entire process with a handful of tools. He's going to be sharing those things. So there's just like so many people. We've got Kenny Kelly that's just killing TikTok, you know, and everybody that's doing this, man, the thing that nobody's getting is, you've been to events before, right? Where, well, let me tell you what I'm doing. I'm really smart, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about what I'm doing. And these people are doing it, and they're doing it with automation tools, and they're showing exactly the tools and giving away the tools in most cases where you can go right out, take the tool that they give you from stage and get a very, very similar result versus just handing you a piece of knowledge or a process, or you take a bunch of notes. It's more like, here's a howitzer to go blow shit up with, right? It's not here's how to shoot straight. It's here's how to shoot straight, and we're giving you a cannon. You know, that's incredible. So,
Well, and it's funny you saying we're giving him a cannon. We're giving him a lot more than that. Like, one, I'm a fan of big fanboy of Austin. I think he's an incredible human being. But like the headliners that are on this on Growth Hacking Live is ridiculous. Like, I follow pretty much all of them. I think they're all incredibly exceptional in what they do. And there has never been, look, I've been with Perry here for he's been my mentor for over 5 years. And I'm telling you right now, like you've opened my eyes up to like things that I didn't even know was possible, but you gave me the business sense to kind of like make money out of it. Because before it was just create, 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 never sell, never sell. Then it became create and obsess, go to the details versus like fast launch, you get it out there. And I think it just kind of like exploded like my growth in general. But I'm telling you right now, every event that we've ever attended, that I've ever attended of yours, the amount of assets that people get are 4 times, if not even 10 times worth the price of admission alone. And there's never been a person that goes, well, I didn't get enough out of that. It's actually the amount of the reverse is like, I got everything I needed and then some. But I want everybody to understand you are going to be so open to things that you didn't even know existed that you are now going to become the 1%. Now, here's something that I also learned.
I think more like the 1/1000th of 1%. It's crazy how,
It's crazy.
I sit down in rooms at AI conferences, and I go, how many of you guys have, how many of you guys use GPTs? Half the room they don't know what a GPT is, and how many people have built a GPT? I mean, I'm at a tech conference, right? And this is like the crudest form of AI automation today, right? And maybe 5% of the rooms ever made a GPT, and then getting beyond that, where you're taking that out into a standalone app or building an end-to-end automation or whatever. I mean, it's 1% of, if they're telling the truth, right? If they're telling the truth,
That's absolutely right.
it's 1% of these rooms that are supposedly at the at the bleeding edge of technology. And I was just, Sunit, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I was
So
literally on the phone with him just not even a minute ago.
Sunit was he was at the A4, what it is AI4 or whatever, and Vegas. And this is one of the biggest conferences, like 7,000 people. And he said, man, they're talking about stuff that, our group was doing 2 years ago today. They're teaching this super basic shit. The thing I worry about more than anything else, honestly, is that it's a bit advanced for people. I think they're going to get things that are going to be like, what are you doing? Because we're handing people, howitzer's a wrong tool, a wrong phraseology, but I mean, we're giving them a nuclear weapon that, one of the things I said, the first AI bot summit I ever did is if I gave you 10,000 of the smartest people in the world that were willing to work for you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for free, what would you have them do? I think that's people's hardest thing, because it's getting, especially if you got a couple of years on you, right? I'm very young, but I can imagine there are people out there that are older. But if you got a couple of years on you, you're sort of constrained by what you've believed to be possible in the universe and world that you grew up in, right? And I think that's why you're seeing, I saw a 21-year-old kid yesterday on YouTube they were interviewing that just sold his company for $121 million. He's 21 years old,
That's
right?
insane.
So, the younger people have a huge advantage. That's the reason, this year, you and I mean, you're much younger than I am, but our average speaker age this year is like 32 years old. So almost everybody that we've got this year that's on stage, you're a senior citizen, and I'm super grandpa compared to, but these guys are all, and I love this energy, right? This young energy. And it's cool because they're smart, they're respectful. They're respectful of like, hey man, I learned a lot from you. And I'm like, that's great. I was the first cat, I think, to put Alex Hormozy on a stage. I'm pretty sure that I was, ever. And everybody at my group, when I had him on the stage, it was for a war room group. They were like, why'd you bring that guy here? What the hell was he talking about? He wasn't very articulate at all. And I'm so proud to watch Alex just go out and freaking murder the market. And every now and then he'll say, hey, I learned this thing from Perry, and that's cool. Yeah. I wish they would all just send me 10% of the money they're making. I'd be
Yeah,
happy
I mean,
with
that would be
that.
nice, right?
But, but I think 10 points would be fair, But so far, those checks have not started arriving yet. Well, man, I'm super excited to have you there. I can't wait to. I wish there's not a good way to tease it without giving it away. But I think you guys you'll be hearing about what happens on that stage
For sure.
somewhere. Somewhere online, you're going to hear the day that shot was fired, right? I promise you. And you can either be in the room and be part of that history, or you can hear about it later, on your Facebook feed. That'll be those are your two choices.
Yeah, but believe you me, well, if we do pull this off, it will be like absolutely.
I feel certain,
And
that
we've already
it'll
done it
happen.
with 100 people, so I know we can do it with 100.
I feel
Now I
certain
know.
it's going to happen, and I can't wait to see the reaction on people's faces, and really more than that, imagine seeing what they do with it. I'm always excited when I teach something or share a tool or share a tactic or share whatever. I'm never excited about teaching. I'm always excited about what a person does with that after the fact, right? And it's always just fascinating to me to see the result. And I'm sure there'll be people that come out of that room that it'll be life-changing to them. I had a guy, I spoke at one of Russell Brunson's events, and I had a guy walk up to me, and he said, hey, I want to shake your hand. I'm a millionaire because of you. And I said, what do you do? And he says, I own a porta potty business in Toronto. I said, you're a millionaire from the porta potty business? He said, yeah. He said, you did a talk where you talked about having a little black book in your back pocket of referral partners and adding on services, doing something nobody else wants to do, and then adding on all the stuff on the back of that. And he had a porta potty business, and he started a pet delivery business to take your pet to the vet or to the dog groomers. And then he started doing dog food delivery for larger dogs. When he comes to poop the scoop, he brings your dog food every 2 weeks or whatever and delivers it. And they had all these referral partners and worked all this stuff in. And he was making $500,000 a year, net money. And over the 3 years that he had been doing that well, they kept under their means. And he accumulated $1 million in cash in the pooper scooper business. And that was stories like that. I just freaking am like, that's incredible. And I've had so much luck with, great interns that work with me over time. Molly Pittman was an intern of mine, and Julian Farley was an intern of mine.
Ruben
And
Rock.
Greg Plummer's, pardon?
Ruben Rock, another one.
Ruben Rock's first job in the world was editing videos for me after high school. After he'd get out of high school, he would edit videos for me. And all these people now are, multimillionaires and incredibly successful and business founders. And that's where I get all my goodies now. I'm too damn old to care about how much money I make. I just care about, I love watching my kids grow up. It's so much fun to
Yeah,
watch
and
them
just
grow
the
up
impact though. I mean, I
and see
think
what they do.
you guide us to the right locations and where we need to be and how we need to go about doing it. You look at you make us see the things in broader views from a place of wisdom because you've seen it all, you kind of done it all. And then on top of it, then we have our potential impact. I know I impact a crap ton of people. And I know
100%. Yeah.
a lot of
Probably
that
more
comes
than
from
anybody.
and
You'll
that.
never
So
know, too. So many you'll never know, right? I think you hear about, 1% of those, and you never know about the rest. And kids will say, "Man, I owe you this." I owe you this. You don't owe me anything, man. You being in business, yeah. If you get a break every now and then, you meet somebody, gives you a tip or helps you with something, great. But you got to kick ass yourself. You don't owe anybody anything to your success. Being successful in business, number one, you got to be a maniac. You got to be an idiot to want to be in business. You got to be kind of crazy and if you're not, I tell people all the time, you got to be crazy. You have to be obsessed, and you have to realize that you're going out on a battlefield, and this is war. Business is war. And if you don't believe it is, you came out of corporate, you certainly know business is war. And and if you're going to go out on the battlefield with your Johnson in your hand, you're going to get slaughtered, and having these tools, the craziness is that the way this market has evolved with AI to where they let us have these tools at all is fascinating.
it really is.
That
It really is.
corporate didn't just lock all that up and go, screw all y'all. We're just going to keep this to ourselves, and we'll just make little meatball robots out of all of you, which they could have done. They could have clearly done. But I think that the fact that all this is at your disposal now, and this gold is out there, and people are walking around, looking up at the sky and not picking up the gold that's on the ground in front of them is fascinating. So, but I know they'll get great guidance from you. They'll get great tools from you, and learn incredible lessons from you. I can't speak highly enough about Nuno. His integrity is beyond reproach. His dedication to the people that he works with, even if he's working with people through somebody else, if it's somebody else's people, he's incredibly dedicated. He's patient. He's a patient teacher. He's incredibly dedicated, and always, 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 always is on the edge of everything that is cutting. And I'm proud to be his friend, and I can't wait to see you at Growth Hack.
Absolutely, man. I'm super excited. I think we're gonna knock it all. I think it's gonna be knocked out of the park. I'm more excited about the event over anything. Like, I've moved mountains to get there because I was like, there's no freaking way that we're gonna miss this. But then I also was like, well, Perry does so much. How can I impact him? And I know the best way I can impact you is by impacting all your people. So
100%. I
I
really
want to hit
appreciate
it
it.
like beyond the home run. I want everybody walking away so like, holy crap, like I can't believe that just went down. And that's the kind of just understand that this is my energy. But if you listen to any of the other speakers, I'm like 1/18th of this
Oh,
energy.
that's
Like
not
everybody's coming
it's
with
not
like,
true, but it's crazy. Like the strength of the lineup is, I can be on any of these calls interviewing any of you guys and talk about the rest of you guys with equal enthusiasm. It's
absolutely.
really incredible. Growthhacking.com. You go to growthhacking.com and get your tickets if you haven't got tickets yet. Tickets will sell out usually a couple of weeks, 2 to 3 weeks before the event, and it's September 22nd, so it's getting close to that. The hotel is completely sold out unless you go through our booking link now. And to give you an example, the hotel next door is 3 times more than our current booking link. But I think we only have a handful of days left that you can get the hotel room through that link. So, but there are other hotels in San Diego. Bunk up in an Airbnb, sleep in your van, do whatever you got to do, But be there. If you're not there, the most cutting edge stuff happens at live events, and the deals and the partnerships. I'm a huge believer. Nobody is good at everything. You need partners, you need joint venture partners, you need real partners, you need vendors, you need, there are people there that have big lists. We were talking about coding. So we're doing a Vibe-a-thon we're doing a vibe-a-thon of vibe coders. We're probably gonna have 300 to 500 vibe coders in VIP one night. I think you're going to be around there, Russell, and a bunch of
Oh,
us. And
100%. It's gonna be me. It's gonna be Russell. It's gonna be a couple of
yeah,
other people.
and we're
We're
just
gonna
going to be coding
everybody.
the
Yep.
writing software left, right, and center. But I'm also inviting in marketers into that room. So if you can build a software and you don't know how to sell it, they'll help you. I'm inviting investors. I got a handful of friends that got some money, right? So I'm inviting investors to come in there and meet the software developers and meet the vibe coders and meet the marketers. And I promise you, there will be multi-million-dollar deals made in that room. And I'm hopefully I get a little piece of some of them.
I know.
I need to have a contract you sign as everybody comes in. Perry gets a piece. But no, I think it's going to be great. I'm excited to have you be a part of it. Nuno, thank you so much for today. You guys go to growthhacking.com, get your ticket right now. Be there, be square. There are no live streams, by the way. We did that on purpose. I want to make sure that the people that are there have an incredible advantage over the people who aren't, and there won't be a bunch of bootleg versions of stuff going around. So if you're not there, you miss. And that's
Trust
designed
me,
on
you're not gonna
purpose.
want to miss this.
Yeah. All right, guys. Nuno, thank you so much for being there. I'll see you guys soon. Take care.